In this video, I want to talk about why most investors stay stuck even after some years being invested in the stock market. Maybe this is you've been investing in specific stocks for many years, but you don't have the performance you deserve. It's not because of bad ideas, it's because of a lack of framework, a lack of focus. And in this video, I want to give you some tips to give you more framework, more discipline in your process so you can finally improve your performance. In case this is your first video from this channel, welcome. My name is Christophe Noor. I've been investing in the stock market for almost a decade now, and I have achieved a performance of 25% per year. And the goal with this YouTube channel is to help you become a better investor. So now we live in a golden age of information with the internet, with the AI, and you have too many articles, too many videos on the internet. Your brain goes everywhere and your brain is messy. Your process is messy to pick stocks. This is normal. Now we have too much information and you have what I call a silent trap of learning more but progressing less. Always consuming but never applying. Because we live in this golden age of information, you are bombarded with new tickers, with new stocks to discuss, with new information. But the key filter now in this era is not to consume a lot of information. The key thing to outperform the market is to differentiate between good information that is important and bad information that is not important, or bad information that is fake. The best investors will not be the investors that consume the most amount of information. There will be the people that can differentiate, can have a critical mind, that can differentiate between good information and bad information. And I see too many people on the internet that are in this silent trap, consuming a lot and then over-analyzing everything. And then you have this analysis paralysis and you just do nothing. And you know what? Being bombarded with too many stocks, too many tickers, too much information is not helpful at all. For example, we can talk about macroeconomics, inflation, interest rates, what the US president says, what China is doing, what Japan is doing. Is this important or not? Well, if you are a long-term investor and you have a concentrated portfolio of good stocks, it will not matter. It is not important. It's much more important to focus all your attention towards the fundamentals of the business. This is it. But people still spend hours and hours talking about what the market will do in the next 3 months, talking about what the Fed will do next year. But nobody knows. If you have a shock in the economy, the Fed will cut interest rates. If you have a shock to the economy, they will do quantitative easing again to save the markets. We've seen this many times over. They will just print money, add more liquidity in the system. They've been doing so for more than 15 years now, and they don't plan to stop. Every time there is a problem, they will save the day, and they will just fuel more inflation. So why discuss this? Why do you want to spend your precious time talking about the potential inflation rate that will drop 1% or go up 1% because of this and this and this? Will it really matter to your performance and your stocks? I don't think so. You want to be invested in stocks that will do well regardless of the macroeconomic environment. So this is the only information that is important. Only focus on businesses, businesses, businesses. After all, you are a stockholder. What are stocks after all? Partial ownership of businesses. So you want to focus on businesses, businesses, businesses. Don't spend too much time thinking about bad information that is not important. By the way, if you want to become a better investor and improve your performance, I have a coaching program. It gives you the exact method I've used to generate 25% per year for almost a decade. More on that at the end of the video. Second point, complexity disguises lack of clarity. A lot of smart people are watching my YouTube channel, are watching this video right now, and a lot of smart people have high IQ and they love complexity just for the sake of complexity. Just like people like math for the sake of math, just for the love of the game. And I understand this. But in investing, you don't need complex ideas to make a lot of money. You don't need complex ideas to beat the market. Actually, complexity will lead you to traps. You will make much more mistakes, many more mistakes, if you lack complexity, because you will lack this speculative turnaround play, because maybe the CEO said something in an interview, it's a micro cap, so maybe the risk reward, you have a lot of potential. No. You can just invest in MasterCard if you want and beat the market. You can just invest in profitable companies that keep on growing and beat the market. You could have invested in Microsoft 10 years ago and you would have beaten the market. You don't need to have complex ideas to outperform the market. Actually, complexity will lead you to a path of choosing ideas that are too difficult. And Warren Buffett has these different piles of stocks. You have the too hard pile. Warren Buffett, the best investor of all time, is putting more than 90% of the ideas into the too hard pile. Why do you think you are intelligent enough to embrace complexity? Actually, if the best investor in the world is liking simple ideas, maybe we should all focus on simple ideas and avoid complexity at all costs, and avoid complex DCF models, and avoid the business models that are too hard for us. It's way better to have simple ideas of simple businesses with a simple DCF model, simple valuation framework, and a simple portfolio. Why? Because it's easier to track. And about tracking, let me go through the third point. Tracking performance is the first step to compound progress. I am discussing with a lot of people. I'm helping a lot of clients to beat the market and improve their portfolio, their analysis of stocks. And a lot of them, when we first had our first call, did not track their performance. Meaning, maybe this is you and this is your situation. You've been investing in the stock market for many years, but you don't know your performance, your CAGR, compound annual growth rate. Meaning you spend a lot of time, a lot of energy picking stocks, but you don't know if you're doing a good job or not because you don't track your performance. And this is a mistake for your long-term compounding, for your wealth generation for decades to come. If you don't track your performance, you don't know if you're making 4% per year, or 10% per year, or 20% per year. You don't know if you're doing a good job or bad job. So you don't know if you need to pivot or not. Because maybe you don't track your performance and you are making 5% per year. This is what a client just told me a few days ago. We had a call. Somebody has been investing for more than 10 years, but he didn't track his performance. So we tracked his performance together and we did the exercise together during the call. And he was doing even less than 5% per year for the past 10 years. But he didn't know this. We had to do the work manually. And in this situation, why did he wait 10 years to finally ask for help? He just lost his precious time. If you don't track your performance, you don't know how to improve. You don't know if you can improve. You don't know whether you have to improve or not. So please, if you're watching this video and you are not tracking your performance, please track your performance. If you don't track your performance, you are wasting your time, wasting your precious resources, your energy, your time, your money, because this is an opportunity cost. If you don't, for example, imagine you are not tracking your performance and you are doing 4% per year when everybody is doing like more than 10% per year. This is an opportunity cost. If you're managing, $1 million, we are talking about tens of thousands of dollars of opportunity cost, of missed opportunities every year. So not tracking your performance can cost you tens of thousands of dollars, depending on the size of your portfolio. Sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars every year. So please track your performance, because everything that you can track can improve. If you don't track your performance, you cannot improve your performance. Next point. Transformation comes from simplification, not new tactics. When you invest in stocks, you invest in businesses. So I can give you 3 simple rules to simplify your business process, your stock selection process. After all, investing is that simple. First of all, you focus on good businesses. You avoid the speculative plays. You avoid the turnaround plays. You avoid the companies that are burning cash every year with a bad management team. You focus your attention towards good businesses. First point, very simple. Second point, you don't overpay. You avoid paying a crazy multiple, a high valuation for your stocks. And three, you do nothing. You invest for the long term. You monitor the situation, but you don't go in and out of businesses, of stocks. Every time you go in and out, you make transactions, you have to pay a fee to your broker. Every time you make a transaction, you panic. It's more emotional. The third point of doing nothing helps you in the long term because you have already done the work. And most businesses that are good stay good, which means if you only focus on good businesses and you pay a reasonable price, most of the time, the best thing to do is to do nothing. You sit on your hands, you invest for the long term because you trust the management team of good businesses, because you've done the work before, you've done the due diligence, the research. Most of the time, it will be very helpful for you. And when there will be a stock market crash, good businesses will actually improve. They will thrive from chaos. You have great leaders, great management teams, great companies, great efficiencies. They will actually improve if the world is having a lot of uncertainties. So this is very simple, but it works. And this is how I generated 25% per year for almost a decade in the stock market. You just focus your attention to simple things, simple businesses, great businesses, you pay a good price and you do nothing. If you like this content and you want to go deeper, I have a coaching program. In this program, you will learn the strategy I use to outperform the market. You will learn how to find winning opportunities. You will learn how to properly value stocks, when to buy, when to sell, so that you can build a strong portfolio with great companies. Additionally, inside the program, you will have access to an exclusive community of like-minded investors, and you will also have access to my personalized guidance to reach your investing goals. Click the first link in the description to get more information. You will get a short video that explains how everything works, completely for free. No need for your email address, just click the first link in the description and I'll see you on the other side.